What's good, YouTube? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. So we really need to study the far right to limp wrist LGBT pipeline, right? A lot of these DEI light Nazis or burrito Mussolini followers, they don't, it's like the things that they claim they don't like they'll promote. They don't really have policies or stances. They just get their marching orders. And of course they do because their leader doesn't have any real stances. He follows anything that he feels is going to put him in the best position to gain power. Recently, Michael Knowles did an interview with a TikTok influencer named Clavicar or Clavicool or whatever the fuck his name is. He's a 19 or 20-year-old influencer who's all about lookmaxxing. Lookmaxxing is basically trying to obtain beauty standards by any means necessary. And the reason why I say any means necessary is because Clavicar or Clavicool, whatever the fuck his name is, has no problem going under the knife to elongate his chin. He puts on makeup. He does a bunch of stupid shit, and then he'll sit there and tell you in your face, oh, the top percentile being pretty is this. And it's fake. It's inorganic. There's nothing beautiful about being fake. You're just fake. Or, in the favorite words of a lot of, to translate it for girls, if any women are listening, it's the same thing that one of the Kardashian sisters said when they was like, you're not ugly, you're just broke. Okay, let's listen to Clavicle or Clavicar, what he's saying, because the craziest thing about it is the far right is now trying to push this fucking guy as their new guy as well, right? So he can join the ranks among the weirdo DEI Nazis, white supremacy, because let's be real here. The dude recently just ran over somebody after doing this interview with Michael Knowles a couple of days later. All he cares about is looks, and the main reason, because he's white. That's all that it is. Let's get it.
On social media don't get a lot of likes and certainly don't get branded.
Well, what are we talking about by hot? Like good looking? Like some people think that like Sydney Sweeney is extremely attractive.
I would say, I don't want to scandalize anybody, married man, I would say Sydney Sweeney is very attractive.
I would say that she's pretty malformed. Her upper maxilla is extremely recessed, right? She's got the eyes of doom with no infraorbital support. She's really not that much of a looker in her face.
All of these things are technically true, technically. And the reason why I say this is because I've always been very fair to Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is an above attractive woman. I don't have no problem with her looks. I wouldn't have any problems with dating the woman. She's not fucking hideous, right? But there's so much more than deeper than fucking skin. And Clavicle or Clavicar, whatever the fuck his name is, doesn't understand this. And of course, it would make sense that he doesn't understand this because this individual, let's be honest here, is in shape as at least what a 19-year-old or 20-year-old would be. I feel like as old as when you're 19, 20 years old, if you're not in shape, you're doing something. You're either extremely fucking lazy or you're doing something wrong. Everybody's in shape when they're younger unless they're a fat fuck. Most people are in shape when they're young before they get the responsibilities of being an adult. Shit, when I was 16 all the way until like 23, I was in shape. Right? And then depression hit because some bullshit happened. When you don't got no responsibilities as a man, you own it to yourself to be in shape, or you just not, unless you have a lifestyle in which you're just fucking you're wasting your body away like an idiot. You should be in shape. There's no reason why you should not be moving. But the thing about Sydney Sweeney, coming back to Sydney Sweeney, the reason why he can sit here and say these type of things is because his parents are both bodybuilders. And because his parents are both bodybuilders, he has this fucking chip on his shoulder where he views beauty or the optimal way somebody should look to a much, I wouldn't even say a higher degree, but it's like he has a warped perception of what attractiveness is. Does that make sense to you guys? So this guy is over here bitching and whining about genetics when he's probably had the best genetics that most people can get, and he's still not happy. The dude is 6'2" and he wants to elongate his bones, right? He's a fucking freak. He's a freak. He may speak well. A lot of people surprisingly can speak well. A lot of leaders who led people to genocides and all of this shit spoke well. They was charismatic, but mentally unwell. And the cracks form once you press them about it. Sydney Sweeney, again, and I'm defending Sydney Sweeney now. Sydney Sweeney is attractive, classically and in modern sense. She is attractive. She's not fat. She's blonde, big ass titties. But for me personally, those wouldn't even be the things that would make her attractive to me. To me, Sydney Sweeney is very attractive because she has a strong character. Very strong character. She doesn't reveal what her politics is, though we know she leans on the right. Um, she did very good in school, which we'll cover a little bit later on. Sydney Sweeney just has bad PR. She's a good actor, but I know Sydney Sweeney's intelligent, and that shit is hot to me. Then again, Sydney Sweeney seems like the type of chick who will hold shit down. I'm attracted to pioneer women. So the Hannah Barons, the Gina Carano's, the girls who will stick with you and not fucking up and run when shit gets a little bit tough, the chicks that'll hold you down, that's attractive. And that's another form of beauty to some people. Because at the end of the day, people get older, beauty will fade, but being attracted to somebody or someone being beautiful in your world doesn't change. Let's continue.
I think that a lot of people with brains find her attractive because of her
I
body.
don't have porn. I don't know. Well, you're telling me that if a guy finds Sydney Sweeney attractive, he's got to have brain?
I think that she's above average in looks, but certainly not that, like, you know.
No, you said she's got a sunken suborbital. I forget the words that you said.
Yeah, she's got a recessed infraorbitals and a recessed upper maxilla.
You're telling me you go to a bar.
I'm just saying she's not the pinnacle of looks that I'm talking about to actually succeed on social media. She's average to above average.
On social.
Average to above average. This is coming from a dude who wears makeup. You ain't Batman. Only Batman gets a pass with that shit. And any of the vigilante fighters of Gotham. What is this bullshit? Now, mind you, after he said this, right? After he said this, because you already know. After he said this, Nick Fuentes jumped in and he said, physiognomy is real. Post physique. It's handsome Thursday. I only believe in beauty and aesthetics. JD Vance equals fat subhuman. Newsom mogs him to death. I would vote for him 100 times over just because he's handsome. No, not like that. You have to vote for the Republican. Now, mind you, this is what Clavicular said. He said that he would vote for Newsom because Newsom is attractive compared to JD Vance. And this all fits into Nick Fuentes' whole thing, in which I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. Post physique, it's handsome Thursday, and he's putting pictures of another man on his thing. Hey, I'm sorry, Groypers. I know you got why are you gay? And it's not even normal gay. Like, this is just, these are more steps to being, like, the thing is, gay people are fine. Right? Bi people fine. Lesbians fine, right? They know what the fuck they is. What fucks it up is people who are more confused than those people, right? Because those people sorted it out. It's the people who sit there with the extra steps lying. This right here, post physique, you want to see other dudes on your feed. Mind you, this is not the craziest or weirdest or gayest shit Nick Fuentes has posted. I believe he went on a date with some dude named Catboy something. Right? Another far right wing type. And it's just like, how are you guys not, like, you guys call yourself Nazis, but you're being led by a Mexican. Right? You guys consider yourself alpha and red pilled and all of this, but you're just leftist and gay. You guys don't even know it yet. Groypers are gonna, the G in LGBT is gonna stand for Groypers the way that this shit is going. Right? We already know they like to hijack every fucking thing, right? We already know they took the Pepe meme. We already know that they sit there and try to call themselves the right. They're going to take the G and LGBT for themselves. It's just going to be a fucking Pepe frog just deep throating in the G. It's people are weird, dog. And we can look at some of the comments here. The Groypers all hate JD Vance, the one Republican political leader who is by far the most tolerant towards and patient with them because he is married to an Indian woman and not particularly attractive. I'm starting to think this is not a faction of the GEP we should actively court. Anybody with common sense knows that those radical groups should not be courted. You can't be friends with them. And the funny thing is he's sitting there telling Nick Fuentes and Clavicular sitting there talking about they would vote for Governor Newsom and all of this shit. And they do, whatever. And they're telling their viewers to do it and to siphon off votes from the right, because they're really leftists. But the thing that's so crazy about this is Governor Newsom, again, as I said in one of my videos, is married to a Jewish woman. Which one is it? You guys hate Jews so much, but you support a man who is making America worse, who is all for unlawfulness, which is the thing you claim to care about. Also, when it comes down to immigration, when it comes down to filtered illegal immigration, he's all for it as long as he smiles in your face. And you're all for it because he's white. And now you're accepting of a Jew because technically, yes, she is white, but let's be real here. You guys they don't have no real stances. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that this dude is a closet homosexual at this point? What's crazy is this isn't even the gayest thing he said or done. We know. Sneak on JD Vance. I believe I have that bookmarked as well somewhere else. Look at this. I don't like girls. Runs over one dude and now he thinks his opinion is relevant. Psycho alert. Where's my bookmarks? So what I was saying before, we'll come back to this, but the GOP has become a nationalist, socialist wet dream of these people, and at the end of the day, they'll still support the Democrat if your candidate has a recess macilla or poor and fractional support. That's not true. They're going to support the Democrats because they're at the end of the day leftists pretending to be on the right. It's not to sit there and say that the right is perfect. The right is weak, and that's the reason why they allow these people within their spaces. Okay, so here's Sneeko, another one, because apparently this shit came from the top down. Everybody on the far right, or any of the grifters on the right who ultimately want America to fall, are all repeating the same thing.
I saw the backlash from Clavicular's appearance on Michael Knowles. I think he
Clavicular.
did a great job. And they're all really, I saw the backlash from Clavicular's appearance on Michael Knowles. I think he did a great job. And they're all really upset that he said JD Vance is subhuman. Because he is. JD Vance is subhuman. He has a recessed maxilla. He's sub 5. He's married to a G. His wife literally eats shit. It's disgusting. He's fat. He's overweight. His kids have poop DNA. I'm not voting for him simply because JD Vance, he's connected to Palantir. Probably got raped by Peter Thiel. Complete subhuman. Gavin Newsom, total Chad. He's got an Aryan Caucasian wife. Does not have a
Aryan Caucasian wife. You sure about that? She's a Jew. Again, the funny thing about this is that when it comes down to the white standard, when it comes down to who's white and who's not, it's only who benefits. People are white based on who benefits them at the moment. And we've known this throughout history with the fucking Poles. We know this throughout history with the Irish or the Italians. We know this, right? The craziest thing is Governor Newsom's wife, again, like I said, is Jewish. Technically white, just like Middle Eastern Arabs are white, but still, they hate I guess they hate Indians more than they hate Jews, which at the end of the day, their whole movement is just hate.
recessed maxilla. Her body fat must be around 10%. Care about the Democrat. Politics is all jester. I'm voting for Gavin Newsom simply because he must be around 10%. Care about the Democrat. Wife does not have a recessed maxilla. Her body fat must be around 10%. Care about the Democrat. Politics is all jester. I'm voting for Gavin Newsom simply because he mogs, and I would roll over JD Vance with all 4 tires of my Cybertruck if I saw him. I would run him over, him and his whole Jeep family, because they're all subhuman. I'm sorry. And they're upset that Gen Z is saying, no, actually, we don't want to have undying allegiance to the GOP anymore.
You never had allegiance to anything, really. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. This is the funniest AstroTurf movement I've ever seen. Only an idiot votes on the president based off of looks. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't want women to vote. We're in a crucial time in our country where the wrong leader can collapse this country, and we're having this conversation. Sneeko was a black Jew. What? Dog, I gotta look into the comments on this. What? He is a Muslim. He is a Muslim. Sneeko is a chameleon. That's the problem with grifters. I'm trying to figure out how he... Well, a Muslim is not an ethnicity, but how the fuck is he... Sneeko's not fucking black, nor is Myron Gaines. Opposite, actually. And a cuck. Yes, Sneeko is a cuck. Sneeko is sitting here talking about who mogs and who's a Chad. Sneeko at one point before he became a Muslim, before he followed Islam, at one point he sat there and let his wife get fucked in the same room as him. And he said that I forgot exactly what his mindset was behind that. But again, these are just not well-minded individuals. Sneeko decided to vote for the guy whose wife used to suck Hollywood Jew cock just because, oh yes, so apparently Gavin Newsom's wife is an escort. It is what it is. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I've heard things about that. I haven't confirmed it, so I can't really, Nah, he's a black Muslim, which is what 200% where. Why do you keep saying that? A black Muslim and Jew. How is he blue? I mean, how is he black? He's barely black. He's one half Haitian, so he's African. One half Filipino. How is he black? What are you talking about? Fuentes rally VP speaker Sneeko is an open cuckold, and has exposed how he does gay porn. This is who Nick Fuentes is having speak at his events and promoting his young Christian audience. The craziest thing about Nick Fuentes is Nick Fuentes is not even a Christian. He hates Christianity. He tries to promote Catholicism over Christianity, and he would rather America not be America. He got exposed at one point for it. Black. I've seen Darker Milk. He's a cooler. I don't know what any of that is. Again, how the fuck you're 1 point Haitian, 1 point fucking Filipino, and you sitting there talking about he's black? Again, this is why I when it comes down to playing the game that these people play, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna sit here and call Africans black, I'm gonna sit here and call Jews white, and technically they are white. So it is what it is. They're all making pretty gay choices. So what I was saying before about Sydney Sweeney and what I find attractive about Sydney Sweeney, or pioneer women, or just intelligent women, or silent smart women, you can tell Sydney Sweeney has a character about her in which she's very, 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 very intelligent, right? She doesn't like the thing is. I believe that what's happening with Sydney Sweeney, she just had a bad PR team, a terrible PR team. Apparently, she's a great actress, but she just doesn't get traction. It is what it is, right? They don't want her to gain traction because once they find out that you're not a bleeding heart liberal, they try to destroy you. They try to do that shit to who was it? Chris Pratt, who was conservative, and they tried to destroy him, and they realized he was too big to destroy. Like they try to destroy you. They try like they will 100% try to blacklist you. They did it to Terry Crews. You know what I'm saying? When he started speaking up a certain way, like they don't like it. Sweeney was valedictorian, straight A math robotics student. Yeah, she's very fucking smart, right? Sydney Sweeney's not stupid, and there's nothing wrong with Sydney Sweeney. I think Sydney Sweeney is attractive. Again, she's skinny. That already puts you on the top percentile. She's what else? Blonde hair. That's apparently a standard for beauty in America's eyes. It is what it is. I mean, personally, I find Russian girls with red hair and pouty lips to be fucking hot as hell, or Asian girls. But again, it's fine. I wouldn't be ashamed to walk around with her. I believe she has blue eyes. Blonde hair, low body fat, big ass titties. Which again, like I said, when it comes down to classical or modern visions of attraction, big ass titties can be modern, right? Dudes want girls with big titties. Me personally, I need a girl with a little bit of junk in the trunk. I guess that's a black affinity. I'm not exactly sure. It is. It's because I'm black. Can't get away from it. But also, she got some big ass titties, and when you say when it comes out to modern, sure. But classical, the reason why men are always going to be attracted to big titties because it's a sign that a girl can nurse a child without no real problems. It's imprinted on our lizard brains that way. It's just how men are. It's not just because you know what I'm saying. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. Let's just put it like that. We got 1 minute left. Let's see if we can sneak and squeeze in something else.
Who's going to win? It's going to be yeah, but I mean, like this next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against JD Vance because JD Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
JD Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like 6'3" Chad.
So JD's.
That's it. And the craziest thing about this, right? We promote the most broken individuals, the most mentally unwell individuals. This kid is fucked. I'm fucked, right? This kid is fucked, right? But in this day and age, you can be successful, right? You can be successful, right? This is kind of like the pretty girl. The pretty girl can get away with talking about astrology. The hotter she is, and people will listen. Clavicle has done everything, or is willing to do every and anything to be attractive. People are going to be drawn to that, even if they don't believe or understand or care for anything that he's really saying. Now, all he got to do is push a certain type of politics. Let's put it like this. If Lily Gladys was conventionally a 6, because Lily Gladys is ugly as sin, right? I'm ugly as sin, but Lily Gladys is ugly as fuck, right? Let's say if Lily Gladys was attractive, she would get a lot more followers. She would literally be just like the Tommy Laurens, the fucking what is her names? The Tommy Laurens, the Lauren Southern, even though Lauren Southern is it Lauren? Yeah, Lauren Southerns. Who's the other one who got pregnant by Elon Musk? Ashley St. Clair. Who's the blonde chick who refused to call out Candace Owens for being batshit fucking insane? Is it Megan Kelly? Is it Megan Kelly? I think it's Kelly something. Yeah. Again, you again, there is a attractive privilege, and I think that when it comes down to this individual, he believes in the most shallowest of shallow standards for what beauty is. And that's it's not attractive. You're never going to be fucking Chris Hemsworth. You're never going to be who's the guy okay, so the guy who played Thor and the guy who played Leon Hemsworth and the guy who played Captain America, right? You're never gonna be those guys who are naturally, or the guy who plays Henry Cavill, right? Those are all natural, my dude. For you to be attractive as a man, you can't sit there and purposely and with very feminine energy try to be attractive. To be attractive as a man, you gotta be. It has to be a certain way. It gotta be like a fucking accident, right? It gotta be natural. All that other shit, you're basic. Like I said, the dude puts on makeup. We know how men judge beauty when it comes down to makeup. When a girl takes off her makeup, it's a completely different fucking person under there. Like it fucking looks like a goddamn lizard. Look like shedding skin. It's fucking weird. Anyway, that's my video. Shit be sad, dog. Shit be sad. And you got people listening to this bullshit. Mm-mm-mm.